There was no way Saturday Night Live was going to close out its banner year without one more trip to the location that proved so easy to mock in 2017 Donald Trump's White House. The opening sketch hung on the concept of Trump and his cohorts bidding a snarky farewell to the many political figures, like Sean Spicer, who didn't last the year. Melissa McCarthy wasn't on hand to kick around Spicer one last time, but S.n.l did get an A-list star in addition to Alec Baldwin to give the sketch some added holiday value. Reprising her appearance from back in March, Scarlett Johansson swung by to roll out her Ivanka Trump impression one last time this year. The parade of impressions from the regular cast, however, easily highlighted the year's MVPs as Mikey Day's Donald Jr. and Alex Moffat's Eric Trump handily stole the show with their Dumb and Dumber routine. Leslie Jones also made an appearance just outside the White House window as freshly fired or was she Trump employee Omarosa Manigault. Jones repeated the impression just a few sketches later when she crashed Weekend Update, but Omarosa wasn't the only repeat appearance on the show. As the credits rolled and host Kevin Hart said his goodbyes alongside the rest of the cast on the ice rink at Rockefeller Center, Johansson and her newly official partner, Colin Yost, could be seen grinning, holding hands, and skating off together. We can assume that Johansson's guest role was at least in part a show of support for Yost on his first episode back as head writer of S.n.l. Get Vanity Fair's HWD newsletter. Sign up for essential industry and award news from Hollywood. Full-screen photo Saturday Night Live sketches that should have been movie zone of Mike Myers Hallmark sketches. Coffee Talk featured the actor and drag as an over-the-top Jewish New Yorker who wears gaudy jewelry, constantly adjusts her teased hair with fake nails, and reroutes all conversation back to Barbra Streisand on door similes. Following the success of Wayne's World, Coffee Talk was actually briefly developed as a movie, which like Wayne's World, centered on a talk show hosted from home, but it never materialized. If it had, we imagine Linda Richman left, with guest star Heather Locklear, in May 1994 flying out to Hollywood to drum up the award season support that she believes Streisand deserves. Despite the fact that it is neither Oscar season nor a year in which Streisand is even eligible for an Academy Award, Richman's chutzpah makes her a local celebrity, earns her Land O'Lakes sponsorship deal, and in a Muskegee-heavy finale a showbiz audition in which she has to compete against her idol. Photo by Jerry Goodstein, NBC Photo Bank Getty Images. Few Saturday Night Live sketches have managed to delve into terrain as genuinely sweet as The Nerds, which starred Bill Murray and Gilda Radner as teenage dweebs Lisa Loopner and Todd DeLuca. The comedians had such chemistry that S.n.l writers graduated the pair from an Oogie-punctuated prom night to one clumsy make-out session, during which Bill Murray hilariously attempts to unfurl a fold-out couch into a bed position while still seated on it, kissing Radner. While some of its charm came from Radner breaking character when Murray tickled her or force-fed her champagne, the sketch could have been adapted into a promising romantic comedy chronicling the couple's awkward courtship. Photo by Alan Singer, NBC Photo Bank Getty Images. Last year, Dana Carvey's holier-than-thou parishioner returned to Saturday Night Live for a one-shot reprisal, during which she attempted to exorcise Snooki and the Kardashians before having an unexpected moment with Justin Bieber on her show. Church Chat. The funniness inherent in the setup, a God-fearing elder interviewing the Holy Trinity OFS and the star of Jersey Whore, was a reminder of how promising a fish-out-of-water film scenario could have been for the Carvey character. Left, the church lady does her signature shuffle with guest star Dennis Hopper in May 1987. Photo by Reggie Lewis, NBC Photo Bank Getty Images. Remember the ingenious scene in Tommy Boy when Chris Farley terrifies Enchilkpad buyer by acting out a fiery car crash that could the buyer and his entire family if he purchases the other guy's product? If Farley had adapted his Tom Foley sketch about an overactive cynic of a motivational speaker into a film, Farley would have presumably maintained that amusing red-in-the-face sputtering mode for its entirety. In case you need further proof that Tom Foley was versatile enough to be expanded into a 90-minute format, refer to the sketches in which he moonlights as a motivational Santa at a shopping mall, scares some juvenile delinquents straight in a prison cell, and tries to pump up gym-goers, all with his cautionary tale about being 35, thrice divorced, and living in a van down by the river. Photo by Gene Pagan, NBC Photo Bank Getty Images. The same season that Saturday Night Live debuted the Blues Brothers, in 1978, Dan Aykroyd and recurring host Steve Martin introduced their Festrink Brothers sketch, about two wild and crazy guys who lust after swinging foxes and wear bell-bottoms as tight as their grasp of English is loose. Had Martin not already devoted himself to other films in the late 70s and early 80s including The Jerk and Pennies from Heaven, and Aykroyd not been busy with the Blues Brothers, Two Wild and Crazy Guys would have made the next best S.n.l adaptation. Part Borat, Part A Night at the Roxbury, but with miles more comedy and even worse clothes. Ultimately, instead of translating the characters for film, Martin adapted the sketch for 2 tracks on his Grammy-winning comedy album, A Wild and Crazy Guy, which went double platinum. Photo from NBC Television Archive. Photo Getty Images. A disclaimer: the ideal Kristen Wiig Saturday Night Live movie would have been an ensemble comedy in which all of the comedian's best characters, Judy Grimes, Aunt Linda, a sexy Shayna, Target Lady, et al. Were able to interact with one another in their own insular world. But, among the unavailability of Duplicity-style camera tricks, Penelope, the obsessive Oni-upper, would have offered the next best option for a film adaptation. As with Matt Foley, the motivational speaker, S.n.l. writers prove that Penelope can operate in a number of different scenarios, whether she is out recovering fellow group therapy members or out ladling other soup kitchen volunteers on Thanksgiving. Bill Hader and Wiig appear with guest star Amy Adams in Traffic School, a skit that aired in March 2008. Photo by Dana Adelson, NBCU Photo Bank. Getty Images. The satirical NPR cooking show featured Anna Gasteyer and Molly Shannon as the hosts and unwitting participants in segments crammed with double entendres. The most famous sketch, aired in December 1998, featured Alec Baldwin as a dessert maker named Pete Schwetty, who discusses his specialty candy and cake balls. Even without the constant innuendo, Delicious Dish could have been adapted as a parody of the celebrity chef industry, as Gasteyer and Shannon's hosts humbly attempt to launch a Martha Stewart-like empire. Baldwin would naturally have been courted to co-star. Photo by Mary Ellen Matthews, NBCU Photo Bank.